Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Road to the Olympia series. So in my first video, I asked you guys, would you be interested in a little recap of my very first Olympia win, which was 10 years ago, the 2013 Miss Bikini Olympia competition. So you guys seem to be very interested. So we're here to deliver today with Coach Adam.
Yeah, this is fun. It was fun watching the videos from Spunky Ashley in 2013 and how the posing has changed so dramatically and how the sport has evolved. It's really cool to see.
Absolutely. So before we get into all of that, I'm going to give a brief little story time because it's like my favorite story to tell. It gives me goosebumps when I tell it. As you know, I never set goals that are too big for myself. I keep very realistic goals and, my expectations, I try not to have any at all. When I first turned pro, my goal was to win one pro show and qualify for Olympia, just one. I thought that would be the entire pinnacle of my career, and I've done that times 41. But going into my very first Bikini Olympia competition, it was such a cool experience for me because when I say I was just happy to be there, like I truly mean it. I was like starstruck because I knew I was competing with these girls that I looked up to for years. I'd see them on the magazine covers and I was a little bit of a fangirl, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to stand next to them. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So going into this competition, I obviously didn't have any expectations. I just was so happy to be there. So happy to be there. So during the competition, I did my routine and we did our comparisons. And I was in the first call out and I was confused, to say the least. I thought, there's no way I'm in the actual first call out. I thought, maybe they're trying something new this year. Maybe it's like in reverse, like the first call out's actually the last call out and they're just going to do it in reverse like that. So they were moving us all around in that first call out, and it ended up being 3 of us in that first call out. I can't remember if they did a callback or not, but at one point there was 3 of us in that first call out, and they were switching us back and forth and back and forth. So everyone spent equal time in the middle. But after prejudging, everyone was like, wow, congratulations, Ashley. Wow, first call, that's incredible. I'm like, I'm not convinced that's the actual first call out yet. I appreciate that, but let's wait and see. I don't know. I think they're doing something new this year. I don't know if that was the actual first call out. They're trying to make it exciting for the crowd. They're trying to keep us on the edge of their seats, right? So at finals, I did my routine again. We did our comparisons again, same scenario as the prejudging. And I noticed how they call the placings at big shows like this is they do it in reverse. They'll say 6th place and 5th place and 4th place and 3rd place. So they were doing all that as we were all standing on the sidelines there. And it didn't hit me that I was like in the actual first call out until they called 3rd place. Because I was like, wait a minute, hold on. 3rd place, that girl, she was my call out. So is that the real first call out then? I was like, is it? And that's when I got like nervous. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on here. What's going on? And then I was like, I'm like in the top 3, I think. And then they called 2nd, and I'm like, oh my gosh. See, look, I got goosebumps right now. I was like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, no way. And when they called my name, I just like broke down crying because I did it. I exceeded my expectation. I surpassed my goal big time. And I think what was so cool about this is just I was such an underdog. I was not expected to win by any means. Like no one would have predicted me to win. And obviously I didn't expect to win either. It was such a pleasant surprise. All I know is I tried so hard leading up into the show and I gave it my everything. And I was happy enough with that just to be there and know that like I gave it my all. And I won. And it was such a big shock to not only me, but the whole like bodybuilding world, I feel like. But a lot of times you'll notice when there is a new Miss Bikini Olympia, everyone's going to be shocked. There's going to be people that say good things and say bad things. And I got all of it, but I didn't care because I was Miss Bikini Olympia. And I never would have expected myself to be in that position ever. Like I said, I'm just a girl from Akron, Ohio. I wasn't part of a big team at the time. I didn't really have sponsors. I was a no one. You guys don't understand. I was such an underdog. And it was such a pleasant surprise to win Miss Bikini Olympia. So there's my little backstory. And then I was able to repeat 2014 and 2015 as Miss Bikini Olympia as well. And it's funny because like in 2014 and 15, I definitely put on more muscle after this.
Yeah.
But as you'll see, I was not the Ashley you think of today. This physique here won Miss Bikini Olympia in 2013. But I'm well aware this wouldn't even turn pro these days. And some people will say, or try to like downplay that. And they'll be like, yeah, she won 3 times, but the physiques weren't that advanced back then. And it's like, yeah, no kidding. Because if I looked like I do now then, they would have said, oh no, too muscular, too big. You got to go to figure. So much has changed within the span of 10 years, or I should say evolved. I don't want to say change, evolved within the last 10 years. And it's crazy that I was able to kind of keep up throughout. But to this day, winning Miss Bikini Olympia in 2013 was my happiest moment in my entire life. It was such a pleasant surprise. Out of the whole entire world, I was chosen as Miss Bikini Olympia 2013, just a girl from Akron, Ohio. Just a girl from Akron, Ohio. So that's my little story time for you guys.
That was cool. That's a good story. It's a good story to hear for everyone because we talk about it, right? It has to be someone. Why not you, right? And that's a perfect example. Like, why not you, this small girl from Akron, Ohio that like, it's funny going into it, you were not on the radar of winning that show.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm sure people didn't even know who I was.
I mean, going into it, like in my top girls who I had, because we did a watch party at my house for it too, like on the live streams. And so we saw it and I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. I guess if she has the line, she's got the look, she's got the posing. The posing was lit back then.
As you'll see soon.
Yeah, but even then I was like, she's got the posing, she's got the confidence, like it makes sense. She's got the bikini model look, what they want. Like that makes sense. It's not as big as some of the girls there, but they don't want that,
Yes.
And so that was all the talk. That was where the talk started with that was like, do they want it? Are they going to bring it back? Do they want purely that beach look? Do they want more muscle next year? Are they going to keep it down? Like it was like, so that started so much. It was really like a fire in the bikini world. It was crazy. Yeah.
Because if you look at the 2012 Bikini Olympia winner and me, there is such a big difference. The previous winner was so much more muscular and leaner than I was. And I feel like maybe they were trying to make a statement like, let's pull back a little bit here. So, but yeah, I'm well aware that this physique is wouldn't even be a competitive physique these days. And it's like incredible. But, I would say 2014, 15, I did put on some muscle since then. But even then, it's come quite a long way. So if my memory serves correctly, in 2013, I won by only 1 point.
Oh, wow.
But 14 and 15, I won with a perfect score. So it's, it definitely set the tone. And after I won the Bikini Olympia, I quit my job bartending. And I was like, hey, maybe I should take this fitness thing seriously. So after that, so many opportunities were open for me. And I got to travel the world, giving seminars, meeting people. I got a sponsorship. Things started coming my way, and I took advantage of every single opportunity that would better myself. You better believe it. So I got to travel to places I never thought I would ever get to go to. I never thought I would even leave Ohio, right? But I got to go to the Olympia in Vegas, which, hey, I live here now. But I got to go to Korea and India and Finland and Germany, Russia, all these cool places. Like, I can't even count how many places I've actually been to. I've been to so many cool places around the world because of competing. I got to compete in different countries. I got to give seminars in different countries. I got to meet so many cool people. And what can I say? I'm still living the dream to this day.
That's
and
crazy.
I get to do what I love for a living. And it does not feel like work. I feel like I never forget how good of a position I'm in. I will never forget that. I'm so grateful that I get to compete wherever I want, whenever I want. My wonderful sponsors take care of everything. I've got a great coach who's super supportive, and I get to work for him now too. So I got it good, and I never forget it. So one of the reasons I compete so much is I got it good. I'm not gonna let that just pass me by. I have such a good life right now, and I like to say, I hope it doesn't come across like I'm being cocky, but I feel like I was made for this. Like my lifestyle, my physique, and just how I've been able to adapt and everything. So I'm a lucky girl.
Yeah.
I am a lucky girl, all because I won the Bikini Olympia in 2013, and that set everything up.
It's crazy. Well, you were set up, all of your hard work and all of your athletics and all of your, hard work set up that win, right? You were prepared for that luck, right? And that's one of the things that people will talk about is, that you got to have a little bit of luck. You got to have a little bit of this. You got to have a little bit of that. Well, you create your own luck by all the things you did prior to the Olympia. And then, it's an opportunity and you took full advantage of it, but you kind of created that pocket of luck to get there, right? And I think that people don't see that. And, you worked your whole life for it, even though it started in 2013 with a bang. It took you however many years to be an overnight sensation, right? Because you're in the gym working hard. Yeah. And, why not you? Why can't you be the next one? So
yes. And I have to thank my track background as well. Being a track athlete through middle school, high school, and college, running the 400-meter hurdles definitely taught me what hard work is. And I think that athletic background just gave me the best advantage, not only physique-wise, but mentality-wise. Sometimes this sport can breed maybe people that have not competed at a high level in sports, right? Maybe like, JV, high school stuff. It's different in college. It's a whole new playing field. It's much more intense, much more wear and tear on your body and your mind. So I'm glad I got that, because after my college track experience, I feel like this is much easier to me, because I'm comparing it to my college track days where I had to run like 400-meter hurdles, repeats. I think like it was Tuesday was 400-meter repeat day. I ran like so many repeats, I would throw up after and just, yeah. So, and it's nice that I'm now training like on my own time, and I get to choose like, when do I want to do cardio? When do I want to train? So I have control over that. So what an amazing life it's been so far. And I'm just getting started. So let's go and look at I want to show you guys my old posing routine. Now you'll see some of these poses are no longer a thing anymore. Posing, it was first off much shorter back in the day. And it's, I definitely had a lot of spunk going on here, as you can see. I looked confident though.
Yeah.
Very spunky. Look at the spunk. Little shoulder shrug. Oh, look. And the cross-legged one is coming next. Here we go. There we go.
A lot of people are probably looking at that like, what's that?
Little hip jiggle thing right there. But I was very, very bubbly, I guess you could say, in my routine. And even looking back, I'm like, dang, you know what? That cross-legged pose is kind of like risky these days. I mean, I feel like it's a little hard to balance like that, but I did it. I looked very, very loose, I guess you could say. Nothing looks tight.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's fun. I like seeing this because it shows that you can adapt to whatever they throw at you. You've been one of the very few people who've been able to adapt to the standards as the standards have, evolved. You've been, and that's why when you say, you're made for this, is like to not be an arrogant thing. I truly believe it, because as it's gotten bigger, as it's gotten leaner, you've done it. As opposing has changed, you've done it. And there's very few people who have been able to do that. It's not like anyone's, done it for so long that their body's so beat up that they can't do it anymore. It's just that they haven't been able to change with the times, and you have. So there's very few people who've been able to keep going, So that's just, it's awesome, because it's not just the body, but the mind, like a lot of people just don't want to do it anymore on top of it. Yeah. And you've been, just as hungry now as you were then, if not hungrier,
Yeah, so. Absolutely. But going back to what you said, like adapting with the times and stuff. I mean, even think about it. If your body looks good in that, like, let's say the old school front pose, I'm impressed with my own self that I was able to look good in both poses, like the new front pose and the old one, because
changes people.
You can look totally different. Like some person can pull off one pose really well, but not the other. So I'm surprised that like I was able to hang on so long. So, yeah, I mean, and look at me wearing that green till this day. Green.
It was so hard to talk her into a red suit.
I know, the red. I don't even know. What do you guys think? Should I wear red or green for this year's Olympia? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got choices. Angels competition bikinis made me like 6 different suits that I'm going to see which one looks best. So
yeah, they're so great.
Code Ashley K Fit at checkout to save 20% angelcompetitionbikinis.com.
That's awesome. They gave you so many suits to like choose from, you know?
Yeah. Well, I told him like, I'm going to compete a lot, so they'll get used. They'll get used. But I have been giving them back for them to resell because I'm like, you know what? If I have a suit that I love, but then I get a new one and I know I'm like, well, I like this new one better, I want somebody else to enjoy it. So some of my old suits are on there as well that you can buy at a discount. So let's look at the comparisons of the Bikini Olympia here. Now look at this epic stage. And I want to show you guys something. As you'll see, this is not the best quality video. Look how far apart my legs are in this front pose. It's so far apart. Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. I probably shrunk myself like 3 inches there, or 3 or 4 inches just by like the wide feet there. Yeah. So I think that was before the confirmation round. Oh my God, they walked us. Oh,
In the walk, you really do well. Your glutes stay full in the walk. Like your glutes actually stay full in the walk. And a lot of the girls are just kind of walking,
yeah.
you know?
I didn't even see this part really, honestly.
Look at that footwork on the way back.
I'm kind of like marching. I mean,
it's so awesome. Let's look at that footwork again on the way back. That is some confident front walking.
I mean, it's not what I would want these days.
Yeah.
It's a little marchy.
But so was she on the right.
I mean, like I said, it was different back then. I feel like it was more spunky back then. Everyone was a little more spunky. Now it's a little more slow. A lot of people do the more sultry route. Yeah. But it's definitely, it used to be much more bouncy, much more like bubbly, like, you know.
Well, just a couple years in at that point, you know, were we in 4 years there? 4th year? Okay, so yeah, so it's still, they're still figuring it out. Yeah. Yeah, so it's crazy how much it's changed though now.
Absolutely, but good times, man. I just, to this day, I will never forget this amazing memory. And look at that little curtsy. I did a little squat there. But yeah, good times, man, good times. So like I mentioned, it's the 10-year anniversary this year of my first Bikini Olympia win. I don't know how I'm still here, cockroach, but I'm here.
Yeah, number 3 in the world, number 1 American, 2 years in a row. I mean, that's pretty hard to do with how it's just hard to do that because the sport just is always, I mean, everything like you're talking about, like even the posing. Yeah. If all of a sudden they change the posing and it doesn't flatter your physique, like you're obsolete. Like it's like, you know, you go from winning to 10th, you know, in the first year. Like it's just things. It's just so crazy that you've been able to hang on because of how all the changes and you've been able to stay with them and your physique flows with it. You know, it's wild because there's just no one that's really been able to do that. Well,
just getting started, as I say. Yeah. And just like we were talking earlier before the camera turned on, it was after this show. There's something that separates this show from every other show I did after that. So ever since this show, although it's the biggest blessing, the only negative is now, after the show, burden of expectation, still deal with it to this day. But basically what it means is, in this 2013 Bikini Olympia, I came in as a no one, an underdog. No one knew who I was, so there was no pressure. But after you win, that's what people expect of you each and every time. And in bikini, that's not really a thing that happens. You can't really just win them all like that. So yeah, even to this day, still deal with it a little bit, but that pressure definitely can get to you. So for all the Bikini Olympia participants, just make the most of it. Have fun out there. And I hope to see you guys there at the Olympia in Orlando, maybe at the meet and greets.
Yeah. What a cool time. It's been an absolute honor to watch it and be part of it. And after this Olympia is when I got to know Ashley. I think it was the next year she came out to our gym. I think it was 14. Yeah. And it's cool because this created that, which created this, which created me moving to Vegas too, and having this gym. And it's like, it's wild, man. It's wild what this sport can do for you, for your life, the trajectory of your life. And it's been cool to watch you. I mean, you've had a crazy life. I mean, I saw your passport and it was like, It was the craziest passport I've ever seen because it's just graffitied with stamps from everywhere. And it was the first time we went to I was at Japan was the first time we went out of the country together. And I was like, this is crazy. This is like stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp and like all these cool ones. And then I was like, man, how cool is it that just, you decided one day to do bikini and now you're here, then you're in LA, then your whole life has just been so cool because of the sport. And that's what I always say to the IFBB, I owe the IFBB NPC so much, I met you, all this is because of it, met my wife because of it, my life is totally different because of it. It's just so cool what it could do for people. And I think everyone can look at your story and be like, why not me? I think people think too much, it won't happen to me because it's too hard, but why not you? Because it literally happens to someone who never expects it every time, So
absolutely. Yeah. There you go. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and we hope to see you in Orlando. Stop by the meet and greet booth, meet the athletes, and I have some goodies at my booth, so stop by.
See you guys there.
Bye.